Karriem, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, Michael. How about yourself?
Man, I am loving this weather. I cannot complain.
Well,
Thank you.
35 degrees this morning. I'm getting used to it. I haven't spent the last 40 years in Florida. It's an
Okay.
adjustment, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, hey, I think we got better weather than Florida. You might not know what you get in certain days, but when we get the good stuff, it's good.
It's good. It always keeps you guessing. It's one thing you can guarantee. It's never been too hot. in South Carolina. That's a good thing.
You can say that. Oh man, thank you once again for joining me today. Looking forward to this conversation. So thank you for joining me. I like to start out like I tell all my guests, I do not like to ask the question, who are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Because if I've done my job in the time that we have together, they will leave, the audience will leave knowing who exactly Karriem Edwards is. And so I'm pretty good with my job, at least I say so. So I like to start with more of a substantive question. And I like for you to explain this quote. You were quoted as saying, we've been the subject matter expert in this space. We are the only organization in the nation that has a statewide footprint of doing what we do. We have a curriculum that has been copywritten. From a content standpoint, there is no close second. Please explain.
Well, it's the unfortunate reality that most of the support services throughout the country are set up to support everyone except dads. Dads are often forgotten. So, a little over 20 years ago, some folks here in the state of South Carolina from different backgrounds and different areas wanted to address childhood poverty. And they realized that what my grandmother always said, an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. And that meant that they had to get to the source of economic poverty in children. And they discovered that the source of it was fatherhood absence. So they endeavored to establish a unique coalition of organizations which spread throughout the state of South Carolina and address childhood poverty from the standpoint of re-engaging the father in the life of the child, first as the provider, then as the protector and the caretaker. So when you look at the nation, there is no other state that addresses child poverty from a fatherhood standpoint. There are organizations here and there that address it on a localized level, but we are unique from that approach. And we also are unique because we address the problem holistically. We address not only the relationship between the father and the co-parent and the mother, but also parenting, so the relationship between the father and the child. But then we address just the health of the father as well. And of course, the economic component is one of the, I won't say it's the most important, but it's one of the highest priorities, because if a father is able to address the economic needs of the child, then a lot of the other needs go away. So in essence, we are unique in our footprint statewide, and we are unique in our approach. And this is a recipe that has been baked over the last greater than 2 decades, over 20 years.
So, tell us a little bit about some of those curriculum, a little bit about the curriculum, especially the part that deals with economics and helping fathers provide for their children.
Okay. So if you look at the calendars over my shoulder, those calendars outline our curriculum components as they're delivered throughout the year. So one of our curriculum components deals specifically with parenting, but the other deals with relationships. One of the most important things is the relationship between the father and what is usually the mother who has custody of the child. regardless of whether or not the father is in or out of the home, it's important for them to have a collaborative relationship with the mom so that they provide for the needs of the child and putting that child first. So the co-parenting program just helps develop a healthy relationship between the parents. And if a child is raised in an environment where the parents have a healthy relationship, then that contributes to the emotional health of the child as well. The other relationship, the other component, program curriculum component, deals with just parenting in general. You're a parent, I'm a parent. We all know that children don't come with owner's manuals. So there's some things that we have to be taught. And unfortunately, a lot of our dads weren't adequately parented, so they don't even have a frame of reference with which to parent their kids. So then the parenting component becomes vitally important. The other one is just the health of the father. Unfortunately, men is just in our nature. Often we don't look out for our health, the best interest of our health. Even when we have benefits and healthcare plans and stuff like that, we don't go to the doctor until it hurts. It's hard for us to do the preventive things. So our healthy fathers, healthy family, helps the father understand that if you aren't healthy, you can't provide for your children, and it's hard for you to be there for your child. So we try to encourage our fathers through our Healthy Fathers program to take care of their health, manage their blood pressure, eat right, exercise, so that they can be around and see their child graduate from high school, graduate from college, get married, and doing all of those things. But you also touched upon something that is very important, and that is the economic component. When you talk about childhood poverty, there is an economic circumstance or economic deficit that leads to other social ramifications. So going back to an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. If a father can provide economically for his child, even if he's not in the life, that helps prevent some other consequences from happening. But we know that just providing financially is not sufficient, so they have to get the other components. But many of our fathers are either unemployed or underemployed when they come to us. What is beautiful is that what's taking place in the state of South Carolina right now is something that I call the perfect storm. And that is that you have this ecosystem of auto manufacturers in the electric car industry that are cropping up all over the state. You hear about Scout coming to Blythewood. You hear about Hunan coming to Orangeburg. Bosch is going to build electric car batteries in Anderson and in Charleston. So all of these manufacturing jobs are providing opportunities for our dads to not to just get jobs, but to gain careers in very valuable areas. The whole world is gravitating to electric cars. So if our dads can become a part of this workforce wave, then they will have sustained income for a long time that will allow them to buy homes, to put their children on healthcare plans, to pay for college. And when you talk about these things, these are the things when you look at childhood poverty, one of the biggest consequences is poor health. Well, the reason kids have poor health is because they don't have access to health care. So if they're on their dad's program, then that's one addressed. If you talk about kids not going to college, well, one of the problems is affordability. So if dad can pay for it, then that's one less problem. And then we know the benefits of dad being able to spend time with a child, increase their overall emotional health, self-esteem, self-confidence, and then hopefully he's making mama happy too. And I know in my life, a happy wife is a happy life.
Yeah, I think that's the rule. Tell me about how has the center impacted the employment rates in South Carolina?
So strangely enough, the employment rates, we have not tracked them historically. However, we have tracked our dad's ability to get jobs. And because of low unemployment right now, most of our dads who come to us, they're employed. They're underemployed. So therein lies the problem. And because of the opportunities that abound, a dad can come to us and get a better job or better training to qualify for a better job upon completing our programs. So this wave of economic development is a new opportunity for us. Although we have tracked our dad's ability to get jobs, fewer of our dads are coming to us unemployed because the unemployment rate statewide is about 6%. So they can find jobs, but the question is, can they acquire the skills to get better jobs? So to address your question, historically, we haven't tracked our impact on the workforce, but we have been able to attract our dad's ability to acquire jobs and get better jobs. And that rate is only getting better as these new opportunities abound.
Okay. How are these services implemented? You talk a lot about the curriculum.
Yes.
Give me an idea of if I'm a father and I get involved with South Carolina Center for Fathers and Family and I get in this program. Tell me a little bit about the program itself.
Beautiful. So dads come to us through referral or voluntary. And we have 6 organizations throughout the state who cover all 46 counties. And basically, dads can show up at one of those areas. They'll go through an intake process, develop something that's called a one-man plan, but also assess what their needs. Fortunately, some of our dads don't need our full curriculum. Mm-hmm. They need help submitting paperwork to gain custody or shared custody. They need help submitting paperwork to register or to catch up child support and things of that nature. So it might be a simple one-day service, or we could refer them to another service. But for those dads who are referred, for example, by DSS, one of our largest partners, if they're referred by DSS, the expectation is for them to go through our full program. So they go through an intake, they go through an assessment, and over a 6-month period, they complete our programs. But throughout those engagements, they also attend group sessions where they are in a group with other dads. They talk about challenges that they may be facing as a parent, just as someone trying to get by in the society. And then it's in those sessions, in those group sessions, that we identify other areas of support, be they training, be they health, or in some of our cases, our fathers are in need of emotional support or psychiatric help. And we're able to refer them to various health partners who we have at our various locations throughout the community. The same thing with legal support as well.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about some of the other organizations that throughout the state that you guys may collaborate with.
Well, one of our biggest partners is the South Carolina Legal Foundation, which is the foundation of lawyers within the state. They provide funding and they provide legal support for our fathers. As I said, some of our fathers find themselves in situations as it relates to custody and or child support, and they just need legal advice to navigate some of the paperwork and some of the administration. So those are one of our largest, let's say, collaborative partners. But our very largest partner is DSS, the Department of Social Services. There are 408,000 children in the state of South Carolina living in single-parent households. And we know that most of those households, probably 80%, are headed by single moms. So when those single moms need help, be it child support or other types of temporary financial resource needs, they go to DSS. Right. So DSS has partnered with us to work with those families, to re-engage those fathers, even if it falls short of getting families back together. We at least work through DSS, who refer those dads to us, to take them through our training to help the families co-parent their children and care for the children so that DSS, i.e. the state government, doesn't have to care for them.
Okay. Is there, how would somebody, if somebody was interested in reaching out to your organization or applying to see if they could get services, how would they go about doing that?
Easiest way, they can go right to our website, www.scfathersandfamilies.com. That website, our website, has a geographic locator so you can find the nearest organization that serves your community. And there's also some on-demand resources that you can use if you don't need courses, you don't need counseling, but there's some referral services that you can tap into there on our website that will give you access to information if you do not need direct support from us.
Okay. Now, if I'm an organization and I want to partner with you guys, or what are you guys? Are you guys a nonprofit? Are you funded through the state? Tell us a bit about that process.
We are a nonprofit, and we have numerous strategic partners as well as developing strategic partners. We're always looking for partners to collaborate to enrich the lives of our dads. So, for example, we got funding from Aldi, and they provide gift cards as a part of our Healthy Fathers program. We take fathers shopping and teach them how to purchase healthy foods and healthy items. So, for example, buying peanut oil versus Crisco and the health benefits of that. But that gift card from Aldi allows them to buy $50 worth of healthy groceries and experiment with healthy cooking. So that's one partnership. As I said, we have legal partners. We have other partners. The technical schools around the state right now offer free training, workforce readiness training. So we refer dads to those various programs that range from OSHA 10 cards to Cisco IT Essential certifications to forklift certifications. There's a high demand for CDL drivers out there. So it just depends on what our dads are interested in. And we're anxious to find out more about the training that will come online because of Scout, who's going to build electric vehicles in Blythewood. I believe 200 jobs are going to the result of that partnership. But most of those programs, training programs, will take place at Midlands Tech. So we look forward to connecting our dads with them and other training / education organizations throughout the state.
Okay. Well, Karriem, thank you for taking time to share this information with me. Thank you for your service to the community. We look forward to having you back. Is there anything you want to add before you leave us?
Yes, I would say that, I like to simplify things. And, our work, if you look at the calendar, it's tedious and busy work, but simplify. What we really try to do is make it a happy Father's Day every day in the lives of children and families we serve. And I have these bands created. I wear one, and I have one for you. And one of the funnest parts of this job is when I get out around the state and I get a chance to meet dads and talk to them. First thing I do is congratulate them for making the effort to be re-engaged in the lives of their children. And then I take one of these bands and I stretch it and I put it on their wrist and I pop it. And I say, just in case you forget it, look at your wrist to remind you that every day your goal is to make it a happy Father's Day in the lives of your child. Not just one day a year, but every day throughout the year. So, Michael, I encourage you and all of your listeners who are tuning in, let's just all join together and make Happy Father's Day a reality in the lives of the children in the state of South Carolina and beyond. So, right. Happy Father's Day. Here you go.
Thank you.